Hey guys, it's Glenn, G&P Custom Fabrication, and in today's video, Sketchy gets a new starter. Yeah, in this video, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade Sketchy's starter. It still has on, Sketchy still has the original starter that came on the 440, and it's big old style. And one thing I have to hand it to Dodge that they seem to do right at some point is they made a lot of universal fit stuff, if I understood correctly. So basically their starters from, I don't know if about the four cylinders, but I know on the V6s, some of the V6s on up to the 440s and even the Hemis, I believe have interchangeable starters. I don't know about the strength of the ones for the smaller motors compared to the bigger motors, but I do know that I was able to go online and find the newer version of their starters, which is a high torque design, smaller, to replace the big one. Hopefully everything fits. Looking at now, it looks like there might be an issue with the steering stuff, but we'll see. Fingers crossed there's no issues. Okay, first thing I did was go ahead and disconnected the battery, and next I'll be taking the power wires off. Okay, one thing that may or may not be an issue, one thing that may or may not be an issue when I get to it, is whether the steering is going to be in the way when I go take the starter out. And when you build your own stuff, that's the kind of stuff that you may run into. That being said, we all know that we've worked on new stuff that was designed by engineers that would probably be just as difficult, and you would have to take this apart and that apart and half the car apart just to get the starter out. So I don't feel too bad if that ends up being the case, but let's find out. Wiring out of the way. I'll move up here to the two bolts that hold it on, and it is 5/8. Right combination of wrenches here. Since that's the top one, I'm going to leave it partially in. Go ahead and hit the bottom one somehow. You can see the size difference here between them, which this one don't look like it was that old for it to be failing like it was. But anyway, let's see how the new one folds in. issues with that. This one may not work. I'm going to try taking this lower steering link out first. Yeah, I'm going to try taking the steering loose down here on bottom and see if that works to get it in there in place. I'm not sure. It almost looks like this lug here might be in the way. It almost looks like that's removable there, and bolt it down on top of it to offset it. So I'll check that out. Oh, okay, there we go. So it's basically the same connectors, they're just down here. So let's take them loose. Okay, yeah, that's clearly just to reposition those to make it easier to reach on certain applications. Let's see if that makes it work any better. And voila. Ooh, I'm tight there, but we'll see. I may have to trim this off and put a set screw down in it. And I am way tight up there, but I believe I can get a nut and bolt on that, or get a nut on it. And so let's see what we got here. Get another washer for that. Okay, another reason why I went to this starter instead of just replacing with the direct old style like was on it was if you click on the link above for my video where I put one of these mini starters on Rat Dooley. I guess I did that like 6 months ago or so, and I've been really happy with it. Maybe longer back, but I've been happy with it. It seems like the biggest benefit is, before it seemed like your battery just had to be at 110%. Had to be, especially if it was hot. If the motor was hot, it just took everything it had to try to spin that starter. But with the little one, I'm just really amazed at how easily it works. It just doesn't have the need. It's not as needy as the big ones are. So it seems to go ahead and spin and do fine at lower with less battery. So let's see. Let's continue putting it on here. See what it looks like when it's drawn up tight. And that bottom one, I had drawn out that great big long bolt, but I don't think I needed that big long bolt. Actually, and I actually pulled that one out by mistake. It's actually just a bell housing bolt, and it didn't have nothing to do with the starter. So that was a big waste of time there. Now I guess I'll stick that big long one back in there. And I am in the process of getting Sketchy legal. Whenever I bought Sketchy's body, there was certain steps that I didn't realize that I should have took to make sure that the actual titling of it would be easier. And so I've been like freaked out for the longest time about getting everything done right. And today I reached out to the guy I bought it from because I'd made a mistake with the title itself, and I say, I remember me. I really need to get with you about redoing this bill of sale and getting it notarized, and which I didn't have done the first time. And so I can get this thing done. And he was cool about it. He said, yeah, let's meet up, get that taken care of. So now it's just a matter of getting our schedules together because of railroad not being the easiest company to always work with when it comes to trying to be somewhere at a certain. So underneath there I have a stud that sticks out with a nut on it, which is all I really need to take off the bottom side. And I have a bell housing bolt, which I did not need to take off. Then you got a bolt on the top side. All of them being 5/8. This one I think I can use an extension better on it. May have too much extension. Maybe I need a shorter extension. Yeah, I could get by with half the extension and I'm fine. Now I'm seeing here the way I have this positive wire from the battery. I got this pushed over the side. I can go ahead and move those around so that they are positioned on the other side. And it's time for the gloves to come off. We all know that time when it's time for the gloves to come off. And you really need to feel what you're doing, so you're not dropping your bolts into the gravel. This may have been easier to do before I bolted the starter in place. Real important that those two don't touch each other down in there. You can't see it from where you're at, but there's a wire right next to, I should say a post right next to this big positive post. And they cannot touch. If they touch it, we'll try to start. And that would not be good. Back in, let's say, junior high, middle school, whatever you call it nowadays, my sister had a 64 Barracuda that had starter wiring issues, and it was real common with it to have to pop the hood and jump across this solenoid with a screwdriver to start it. And, yeah, none of us back then was smart enough to figure it out. I shouldn't say smart enough. We didn't ask Dad to fix it, which I'm sure he could have. It was just something we got used to doing. Okay, I need to get the right wrenches for those. There. ½ inch. Actually, I'm going to guess it's a 12 millimeter and a 9 millimeter. That was right. That's a 9. I figured on this newer starter it would be metric. Okay, that should have everything clear. Let's check out that new starter and see how it does. Now I gotta apologize, the fuel pump's really loud on this. That's what you were hearing earlier when I was trying to start it. Starts good. good. Sounds good. So I'm going to wrap this up for now. Once I get, I don't know if I'll do a video when I get the rest of that steering linkage sorted out or not, but I just want to show a little update on Sketchy, and that was issue I was having that was haunting me pretty good. In fact, that video you watched of me doing my hooning, I ran into this issue with it not wanting to spin the starter and engage, and that seemed to fix it. So on my Sketchy list of things to do, I really don't have that much that I'm really concerned about at this point. My windshield did not stay in place. My roofing tar attempt did not work, so I'm going to have to break down and buy some real window urethane from O'Reilly's. I think it's like 30 bucks for a tube. I think it's a two-part mixed together type stuff, mixes in the tube or something. But yeah, that's going to happen, and that's pretty much it. I've got so much other stuff going on right now. I've just got a I guess I should say I found the overdrive for found Rat Dooley's overdrive. For those few of you that are familiar with it, I did a video a while back about in search of Rat Dooley's overdrive, just to find out that the transmission that was in there was not an overdrive transmission, it was just a C6. And which really puzzled me because of the year of the motorhome, which makes me think that possibly the original overdrive had went out and they just replaced it with the C6, or for some reason they special ordered RV with the C6. I don't know why somebody would do that, running 410 gears in it. But anyway, so I was kind of surprised that it was a C6, which is a good transmission, just not what I wanted. So I've been searching for one. I finally found one, went and picked it up yesterday. So I've got it in the shop. It's going to be going in. I'll try to film some of that. I've got wiring stuff to sort out on it to get it to work with the computer. I mean, I've got, he gave me the computer that came with that, so they're matched up. It's for the 460, so that should be a no-brainer. That should all work. I just have to find the wires that I weren't using that were coming out of the computer that go to the transmission, and get all that sorted out and connected up right. And I've been wanting to clean up that wiring harness on Rat Dooley anyway, so this will give me a good opportunity to get that done. So I'm going to go ahead and end it there. This is Glenn for G&P Custom Fabrications, living the dream till the freaking phone rings. Thanks for watching.